Hello everyone. Today we're going to be talking about a very controversial topic. Many people on the internet, mainly women, have been talking about this topic for ages now. The topic is, should they be paid the same amount as men, equal pay? Now, there are many reasons why they think that they should be paid, but here are some of the reasons why I think they should not be paid the same. First off, they think they just work as hard as men. They think they work harder, practice harder, and do whatever. More of their Olympic teams have been doing better in recent years than the men's team, just like the women's national soccer team getting close to winning a World Cup here these past few years. They are also being paid the league minimum across all sports throughout. Since 2002, they've been paid the league minimum, so there's another reason. So we're going to use the NBA as an example right here. So the NBA's average revenue per year is $7.4 billion per year in just the regular season plus playoffs, while the WNBA is making $60 million per year. Now across all platforms, the NBA has 405 players, while the WNBA has 144 players. So if you look at that division, if you divide that, the average men's salary would be making $1.4 million per year, as to where the WNBA, the women's, will be making around $83,000 per year, if I am correct. And the NBA gets 50% of its revenue distributed to all the players across the league. The NBA also has a lot more games than the WNBA, while only 1,200 regular season games, only in the regular season, while the WNBA has only 204 regular season games, not including playoffs. If you're including playoffs, that only adds about 35-ish more games if they all go to a 5-game series. While the NBA also goes to about 75 games in the playoffs. The NBA also broadcasts their games to 96 countries, while the WNBA only broadcasts them to 24 countries. So that means they are not going to have as much viewership between each of the leagues, because more countries you can broadcast to and more people you can get your games out to means you get higher viewership within y'all's games. The average WNBA attendance was only 7,000 people this past year, while the NBA only had 18,000 people for a higher price ticket, which the price ticket for the NBA was around $80, while the WNBA was around $20 per game. People also want to see just more prospects, and you'll see more prospects through ads, through commercials, through high school games, college, and more in the men's category. This also affects many other sports and women's, such as tennis. There is a thing called the Universal Tennis Rating, which bases players off of their opponent's skill set and how many sets were played in that match. The best female tennis player would not even rank in the top 200 in that universal rating scale compared to all the men's. Naomi Osaka had a rating of 1340, while Rafael Nadal has a rating of 1595, which doesn't seem like a lot, but within that universal rating, it is a huge gap. We're not saying she's a bad player, but when it comes to the men's category, she would not be even close. Fun fact, Serena Williams held a warm-up match against a top 200 ranked player, and she's arguably one of the best tennis players to have ever lived. She lost that match 6-1, only scoring about 4 points, if I'm correct, 4 points, and those were off some duffed balls that top 200 player hit. The U.S. women's soccer team, they played a Dallas soccer team filled with a bunch of 15-year-olds and lost the match 8-2. Now, this was back in 2018 when they got to the World Cup finals. I don't remember if they lost or not, but, you know, they are arguably one of the best women's soccer teams who have ever lived. But they lost to a bunch of 15-year-olds, which is saying something within the skill set between men and women. So we've explored the reasons why, you know, the NBA, like how the NBA can make more revenue off of it and distribute more money to the players compared to the WNBA. They also don't get as much viewership between each league, and their skill gap between women and men's is a huge margin, which is why this is a reason as to why they should not be paid the same as men. Thank you.